Okay. It's good to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. You know, when we started to plan, how do we talk about this device? It's so different because we were in this world of, we've already revealed it. You know what it is. It's not about surprises, and we don't have a live audience. And how do we engage? Should we film it? Should we do it live? When we wanted to do it live, I wanted to be able to connect with you. I wanted to share how grateful I am that you're here, but also share how the team feels about the product they're building and the passion that's coming out of this team. And it's going to feel a little different for sure. We're in different rooms. Shilpa is actually next door in the studio. The team is in Building 87 in our actual design lab where we design the product. And so we'll go back and forth, but I'll tell you what's not different. It's the passion. It's the passion we all feel for the product we're building. It's right here. We know we're pushing boundaries. I'm not remotely confused about it. But we have this belief that we need to empower people to achieve more. This is what we talk about. This is the mission of the company, and it's innate. It's part of who we are right now at Microsoft. It's part of who I am as we build these products. Empowering people includes sometimes challenging conventional thinking, and I think that's critical, and it leads to building new categories. It does. And that is where you can start to make a difference and create transition for how people engage. Think about Surface Pro for just a minute. A lot of you have been on this journey with me. It's been a journey. Actually, this is fun. We saw the mail from 10 years ago yesterday that started this entire journey from myself to 12 people on the team, most of who are still on the team today. And at that time, we had this belief. We were going to take the tablet, the laptop, we were going to connect them. We're going to use those elements to connect people to something completely different, to help them do more. We believed in it. We had click in, do more. And, you know, we got to this place, and you were with me, many of you, some of you, I should say, actually many, when I looked at the list of all you who have joined. You've been here on this journey. And at first it was bumpy, and yeah, there were some questions. But actually, when you get to that point of perfection, that intersection of hardware and software, and you understand what people need and what they're going to do, you understand what they're trying to do, over time, behaviors start to shift. We saw that in the 2-in-1 category. It has evolved to what it is today, which I think is extraordinary, and it's also humbling. We're still learning every day, but right now, today, we want to talk about that next wave of mobile computing. That's what I want to do. I want to talk about what mobile productivity and creativity starts to look like. And basically, this is another opportunity to create something new. I'm not trying to reinvent the phone, but I do believe this is a better way to get things done, a better way to create, and a better way to connect on a mobile device. Now I'm going to play you this video, which we're super proud of. The team put it together, and this is like your classic sizzle that we built, but every single nuance in this video is about how this product comes to life. Take a look with me for just a minute.
Hello? You ready?
Okay, I get pretty pumped when I see that video. That's it. I love it. It has come to life in so many ways. As we make the products, we create the video, and then we start with renders and we get to the actual product. It just shows the depth of it. And then when you watch it, it shows what the device can do for people. Now we built this product for Surface fans. There's no question about it. We built it for people who love Microsoft Office, Teams, Outlook. It really does come to life. But it's also for those who use Android apps or mobile apps in general. That was critical to the product. But ultimately, in building it, it was about productivity and creativity. But it was designed to fit in your pocket, which was super important. All right, I love this product. I love it. I think you're going to love it. It's thin. It's sleek. It's probably one of the sexiest devices we've built. It's got a perfect feel. It feels premium. The hinge feels incredible. It's beautiful, and it just adapts. Look, it does things that single screen devices can't do, period. And we know that. And we also know this, that when you see things side by side, when you're working with two screens side by side, connected, the brain turns on in a very different way. It lights up, it magnifies. You're able to accomplish more, you're able to see more, collect more. I mean, we have decades of research and experience with Windows, as you know, and how you can grab multiple defined spaces. And this is where I wish we can have a long conversation. And we'd take the whole day, we'd walk through it, I'd explain it, and we'd get you through. But I'm going to show you how that works in just a minute. But I really do want you to understand that it's easier to process information this way, and it saves time. I used words in October about keeping you in your flow, which is just real. Like once you're in, you stay in. You don't have to keep disengaging. When you're in a single screen, it's very different. You're dismissing an app or putting it away or burying it and doing something else. In this case, with windowing, and you can squint and you can start to see that, how Windows comes to life, there's a ton of new opportunity. Here's how we talk about the product in two ways. We want the product to both be able to predict where you're headed and be able to adapt to you or the person using it at all times. Then that's the first principle. It was really important. And so that adapting motion, that's what keeps you in flow, and I'm going to show you that. We also want that simple principle for the whole team. So you've heard me talk about one thing in the past, like what's the one thing you do when you build a product? What is it? And every team walks in every Thursday, we sit down, we have the meetings, we go through, and you start with the one thing. What is it? And this product has so many things, but it's quite simple. The product was built as the Microsoft you love, like the Microsoft you love and the Android you know. And like, what does that mean? Let me show you. And I'll just get into the product. Now, this is going to be a little bit quirky. We talked about trying to can this thing to make the demo easy and so forth, but we didn't. So I'll just work with the team live with you, just in case you can't see it, and hold my hand steady. I can get a little bit movement here. So we're going to try. So I've opened the device. I want you to just see it here. I'm going to walk you through it so you get a feel for it and ask any questions you have later. But we'll call this the home screen, and let me orient you to it. You can see a taskbar. If you squint here, you understand what a taskbar is if you've been on this journey with Microsoft for some time. Your favorite, the Microsoft you love, is here. The Android you know, absolutely in play. When I swipe, you can see just the simple gestures of moving, paging. Now this is my device, so you can kind of see all my properties. You can see the Microsoft feed, which Shilpa will talk about in just a minute. Ultimately, though, if I just swipe up with my thumb, you can see the app drawer, and as you would expect, on my right side, swipe it up. So you can engage either screen at any time to drive into Android. Same with notifications. So when we say the Android you know, I think that's a super important element of the product itself. And same if I swipe down. It's kind of hard to do upside down. Are you guys getting, or Bob, do you see a reflection, or are you good? Can everyone see that? Yeah, good. Okay, cool, thanks. So you can see the device in its form here, and you can see that subtlety of Android that's through the device, but it should be familiar for you. I'm going to open OneDrive for you right here. So look at my one click. You see I open OneDrive. It opens on the screen that I push. On the other screen, I can operate. So when I say staying in flow, like what does it mean? I can do whatever else I want at the same time, which is super powerful, and it's predictive. Because here you are, you're in the space that you chose, and now you have a second space. Now let me show you how the device can adapt to any posture. So as I grab it, I can fling it to the right screen, I can fling it to the left screen. I'm going to show you one more gesture so we can control the app. I'm going to span it for you. So let me just hold it here. Okay, now this is called spanned. This is important. So as you start to transition from screen to screen, sometimes you're going to want to use both screens together. OneDrive and all the Microsoft products have come to life where you span them and different magical things happen. Here you can see these pictures. I took them last night. This is of Anna, me, the family. I'm going to click on Anna. On the right screen, she's going to open up. This is actually just the single app taking advantage of two screens, which I just think is cool. And I can flip through my pictures. It's quite elegant. It's a lot of fun. Not really what I want to show you. I'm going to open, I got it. I'm going to open text. You're going to see this. This is what you would expect in any text message stream. I'm going to open this message here. Now check out what happens. I'm going to click the link in this message. And you see how the device lights itself up on the other screen. Okay, this is the first step in keeping you in flow. In general, you hit a text. There's a link. You go look what's in the link. You're out of texting. In this case, take a look. I'm still texting and I'm in flow with the data that I wanted to see. In this case, it happens to be an ESPN text, sorry. But that's the website that opens up, and that's Edge rendering. You can see how beautiful that renders. So you can see how two apps come side by side. Now I'm going to show you, if you go to Play Store, you download All Trails. I learned this from my daughter just the other day. This is what, she's a hiker. So we were driving home, and we wanted to find, from Oregon, and we wanted to find some trails to hike. She opened All Trails, and she hit directions. Check out how this works. You see how Google Maps lights up. Now this is an app out of the Play Store. You click on directions, that Maps opens on the second screen. Okay, this is rad. Why is this important? Generally, well, let me show you the other way. If I were to fold this back, just show you this. Now I'm in phone mode. You know what this is. This looks like a phone. This is something you know. If I hit directions now, Google Maps opens on the same page. It occluded, fundamentally, what was there. It kind of makes the point really quick of what's possible with two screens. So now I come back to where I was on the two screens, and let me just get back to that position, and I'll move it to the other side. But now you can see the difference between those two. I think it's powerful to have two screens side by side. Now here's what we found on the device. When you're using it, there are different app groups for everybody who uses them, and your brain does turn on. When you see two things at the same time, you can do so much more. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of the product. This is called App Groups. I'm going to hold my finger on Instagram. I'm going to hit Groups. I'm just walking you through it because I know it's hard to see. And when you get your devices, I want you to create your own groups as you find that magic in what you do. I'm going to connect it with Twitter. So Instagram and Twitter. And I've created a new app group for those side by side. And you see it right here. Okay, why is that important? Well, this is what I do quite often for me. I'm going to hit it. Watch when I touch it. You'll see right here. Oops, sorry, I hit the wrong app group. Oh, sorry, I hit Kindle OneNote. My bad. Where did I put it? I put so much. Here it is. Okay. Now you're going to see Instagram and Twitter open side by side. And that's a pretty fundamentally cool thing. You see how I'm now operating in both. I use these quite often, which is important to me personally. I kind of watch what you're all saying. I want to see what's happening out there. I want to get the news. And now in this instance, I want to show you something else. So while I have apps side by side, I'm going to span Instagram here. I want you to see what happens because it's pretty emotional. So Instagram has spanned. Now, we talk as product makers. You have this shot right here. We talk as product makers all the time. Thanks for coming with me, Myron. This is one where I go, hey, when you make a great product, when it starts to transition and transform, it feels emotional. Look at this. This is Instagram in a way you've really never seen it before. It's quite powerful. And when you do it, it's gripping. Like, it's emotional. You connect to it. It's intentional. To use these two screens and their vibrancy is real. But here's the power of it. Here's the power. That's in my pocket. That can't be done anywhere else. It's super, super important to understand that transition and all that elegance can come together that way. Let me close Insta and bring you back to where we were. And I'm going to actually swipe away. You can see how simple that is with Twitter. Okay, I just showed you that other app group, and I'll just bring it up again. App groups are important, so that's a one click. What that did was it opened OneNote, and Shilpa's going to talk about OneNote in just a minute. And it opened on the right side, Kindle. We actually call this the Satya scenario. When Satya started using the device, he got to that one point where he called and said, oh my gosh, I found this moment where I'm reading Kindle on one side and I'm taking notes on the book that I'm reading on the other. The power of that in your hand is it's incredible. It reminds you of what you can do on a PC, but it fits in your pocket. That was very powerful. I don't do that. I don't actually take notes while reading. I take my notes in the middle of the night. I've told you this before, or in the morning. And those are out of my mind or head. I'm not taking them from a book, but I do read a lot. And so let me span Kindle to show you something very cool. So this is the Kindle app span. Now this is the Amazon team did some incredible work here specifically for Duo. And when I turn a page, look at that. So what is this? So for me, the same idea of emotion. When I'm reading a book, I'm in my book. This is a book posture. The product's adapting right there. It's pretty powerful. So I found myself reading more, which is awesome. And I also find myself reading to my kids at night, to Anna specifically, and I'm in this posture, which is also quite powerful. So I'm going to dismiss that and dismiss OneNote, and I'm going to just open Outlook to show you one more thing when it comes to adaptability. So you can see OneNote. By the way, OneNote is a super cool app when it spans. Click on it. You can actually triage mail better than anything. You can respond. You can use it as full screen. But I'm going to stick to one screen to show you something else. So if I'm in if I'm in Outlook, you can see here the reply button. And see if you can stay with me. Bob, can you see it? Can you see the screen? I'm going to hit reply. Now look under my left thumb what happens. When I hit reply, you're going to see the keyboard span to my left thumb. Actually truncates so I can reach it with my thumb. Now I can make that any keyboard I want, but this is the product adapting to you. It's just an easy way to understand it. And then if I take it, and this is the SwiftKey team that builds this, I fling it to the other screen. I hit there. Now look what's happened. It's under my right thumb, the same keyboard. But if I'm a phone user, I just flip it back, and this is how I want to do it. And this is a two-thumb posture. Click, watch the keyboard. Full keyboard. So it's just a choice. So now I'm in just two-thumb typing, which is a familiar for many of you, I'm sure, where you're just typing as fast as you can with two thumbs. You have that. It's there. And of course, I want to show you my posture, my favorite posture. I'll just lift it like this. You'll see what happens. Sorry, my hand's in the way. You see Outlook span. So now I'm not occluding. I literally can see my whole mail. And my thumbs below. Do you remember this form factor? Do you remember this posture? I do. This is my primary. So when I move to the couch and I want to just operate or work, my long form mail happens just like this. This is where it happens. And I think that's critical because now I can pick my posture. I can get to where I'm most comfortable. If I want to be snackable, I can do it with one thumb. If I want to get a little bit more into it, I can fold back and get into it. And if I really want to get into long form mail, I can get into this posture I know so well and I live with every day. Okay, I want to show you one more thing on the product. Let me just get back to where I was. I'm going to go to the feed. Let's see if we can get this to work. I'm sorry. I keep covering it. I get it. I'm going to join a meeting. So this is the Microsoft feed. Again, Shilpa will get into it. I'm going to join a meeting in Teams, and this is a scenario. I'm going to kill audio because we don't have reverb in the room. Let's see if we can connect. It's always a risk of doing this live. Of course, there's Adrian. Adrian's one of the core marketing leaders on the team. And I've created this scenario because this is actually what I was doing on Saturday on the video you're going to see at the end of this presentation when we were looking at just the global video with Yusuf and Matt. And you're going to get it, and Kathleen, you'll get a sense of that in just a minute. But I've opened Teams. You can see Teams on both screens, which is just a phenomenal scenario. And there's a chat here that Adrian had put in some chat. Adrian, you want to wave just to say hi? Because you look, yeah, there you go. Hey, sorry. So you can hear me. That's good. So I've opened it. There's a chat, and there's a link here from YouTube. This is the video we were working on, or a video, not the one we were working on because I want to hold it for later. And you can see the video playing up top. Now, how incredible is this? Just stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. I'm going to rotate just and think with me for just a second what's happening. I'm now connected to Adrian and the team, if it's a meeting. I've got the video I want edited below. You can see it. And I'm watching them both at the same time. We're having the conversation. I'm editing real time in my hand, which is super powerful. This engagement, the idea that you can disappear and continue to do things that you're doing is just real. So I'm going to close out. Adrian, thank you. I'm just going to close that out. And then I want you to see the video. Now I'm going to talk to you about the most common scenario at my house, and I wonder if this happens to you. I'm folding it back. Here's another posture where the product adapts to you. I set it down on the table, and now we're going to watch the video. Here's the deal. Here's what's powerful about this moment. How many times have you been around somebody who's like, check this out? Do you know what they do? They pick up their phone. I have another duo here. They pick up their phone, and they quite literally stand next to you. Okay, good news. We don't, given COVID, we don't have to do that with our phones anymore. We can get a little bit further apart. How about that? Just set it down. Just set it down and share this moment and So powerful. My kids at all times are talking to me with their phones when we're at the dinner table. Instead, we get to put it down now. And one day, hopefully, if we ever get on planes again, when you sit down and you want to just watch something, instead of holding your phone, let's just stop that altogether. All right, this should give you a really, really good sense of how a product like this, so beautiful and small and transitioning from two screens coming to life and even into one at times, can really keep you in your flow. Now, when I started to tell you, hey, look, this is the Microsoft you love and the Android you know, and hopefully you can feel that. And really, you can see, if you look, even in the taskbar, how it flowed from screen to screen if you were watching, how Windows really, you squint, you can feel Windows in there. Now, how do we bring Microsoft to life, and what does that feel like? Shilpa's here with us today, which I'm pumped about, and really one of the product creators and designers. And if there's anyone better to show you, I couldn't guess who that would be. And Shilpa, if you don't mind. Oh, you're there. Hey, there's Shilpa. Hi, Shilpa.
Hey.
Please.
Thank you, Panos. We built this product while staying true to our goal of helping you use the best device for the moment and staying productive on the go. Now, it's amazing to see how the Surface Duo enhances productivity. When using your favorite Microsoft applications on the go, or even accessing text, calls, and even Android apps from your Windows PC. So let me show you how. Now, all of you that are working parents who've also been homeschooling children through quarantine will probably sympathize with this. I spent a ton of time inside OneNote during the spring, and normally on a single screen phone, this is the view I'd see. I'd have to skip between sections, look at my notebook, my daughter's notebook. But what I'm going to do is basically span the OneNote app. As you can see, it really celebrates the fact that we have two screens on the Duo device. And I have now the ability to easily transition between my notebook and my daughter's notebook, and also all of the sections inside it. And portability works great. Usually we like to hang out in the kitchen and have a family meal together at lunch. Being able to take the device with me, set it down on the counter, and still be on a Teams call while being present with my family has been super important and valuable for me. Now, back at my desk, when I'm back on the PC, being able to quickly take notes has been really helpful here. Let me just go back to my notebook. So let's imagine Panos and I have a one-on-one. Normally, it's really rude when people are on a Teams call to be able to not pay attention to them and take notes. But I normally use my Duo, and notice I use the same Surface Pen as my Studio. And I'm able to actually easily use the device to take notes. And then, of course, if I want a more immersive mode, all I need to do is rotate my Duo. And of course, these notes roam across all of my devices inside OneNote. Let me put the pen back. Oops, there it rolled away. One of the things that's been really stressful for me during quarantine has been the ability to be able to plan meals, as well as, for the whole week being able to get groceries for my family. So what I normally do is I use Edge, as well as my Microsoft To Do, in order to be able to plan my weekly menu. And so I have a nice, the two-screen effort is really great here because I have both my apps working together. It's super intuitive. And if I find a nice recipe, my ability to be able to actually get my shopping list in place is super easy. So let me show you how. I'm going to just select the ingredients I need to buy from the grocery store. Let's do that. I usually have salt and pepper at home. So I'm just going to drag and drop it onto my Microsoft To Do app. And this is perfect because it saves me a ton of time during the week. And if I needed to actually go and cook the recipe at a later time, all I do is set my phone on the counter. My hands are free to be able to make the recipe for my family. Now, despite what you see on Twitter, we do work more than we cook. And one of my most favorite features to start my day is my Microsoft 365 feed on Duo. Panos talked a little bit about it, and I wanted to show you this quick glance view of all the things that are important to me. Now, on single screen phones, switching between apps is super painful. What we've done is broken out the key features out of their silos and placed it into this quick glance view. So I'm able to see all of my meetings. I can join my meeting. I can see my tasks, my notes. I can even see my most recently used documents. This is entirely personalizable and customizable. I have the ability to add Android widgets. And for those of us that are interested, we also have News at a Glance here. Actually, there's one other thing I do want to talk to you about is in my most recently used documents, I have a PowerPoint app here. So let me just open it inside Office. I open my PowerPoint, and I'm going to span it again and just look at this view. For me to be able to get this with a single screen phone, I showed you this with OneNote, with Edge, I spanned the Office app, and this is an amazing view of all my slides. So the ability to do this on Duo is purely magical, and I hope you'll enjoy it as much as it was. It was really a great journey for us to be able to actually ordain all of our apps to take advantage of two screens. So let's talk a little bit about, right now, we're all in front of our home screens, and I think you folks are in that same situation as me as well. And one of the things that we've done is, while you're in front of your screen, you're still worried about what's happening on your phone. And with your phone app, now I have the ability to be able to access both of my screens right from both of my Duo screens on my studio. And so if you can look at it here, I can use touch to dismiss that app I just opened. I can use my entire large screen. I can use my keyboard. And Panos talked to you about app groups. I have one here. It's got YouTube in it, and it's got my Microsoft News in it as well. Now watch what happens on my studio when I rotate my Surface Duo. So I'm going to rotate it. We dynamically reorient this entire image for you. And so if I wanted to play a video, I have the ability to use touch to do that. I'm just going to go back in and show you one other thing on the screen here. And then again, I could dismiss this. I have the ability to shut the video down as well. And then let's look at WhatsApp. This is interesting, but watch as I span it as well. Just like on the Surface Duo, on the Your Phone app, I'm able to get this full screen immersive experience right there. And then as I start responding to this message, I have the ability to look at the exact same predictions from SwiftKey on Duo while using my Surface Duo on my Your Phone app as well. Now, watch this. I could close my Duo and put it away. And I still have access to everything from my Duo on my Surface Studio. I could look at my notifications, I could look at my photos, I can even make and receive phone calls. And then, of course, I can get my text messages as well on the Your Phone app. Surface Duo and Windows are always in sync, allowing you to effortlessly move between your devices. Now, our collective goal was to create the perfect blend of experiences, celebrating our powerful hardware and our fluid software experiences designed to help you stay productive on the go. And that was just a sneak peek at all the innovation we've packed into our brand new Surface Duo. Now, I'll leave you with one last thought. Time is our most powerful resource, and it has never been as relevant for humanity as it is right now. I hope in a small yet magical way, our Surface Duo empowers each of you to do the things you need to do quickly and easily, helping you gain time and power back in your lives. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thanks, Shilpa. That was awesome. That was awesome. It's pretty interesting, right? When you take a close look at this product, what's possible. Hopefully you felt that. Hopefully you can feel and see the elegance in this. But the design points and the thinness and the weight and how it feels and the balance points of this product is everything you would have expected. If you're going to make the perfect hardware and software combination to move to an elegant device, grabbing people, inspiring them, getting them into their flow, it takes every detail. And you know that. We all know that. From the thinness to the weight to how it feels to the entire construct of something new. This has been many years in the making. And Pavan, who's been on the journey with us forever, the main architect of this product, is here to tell you about it, along with one of our lead designers on the product, Jazmine Hoyle. Pretty excited to have them talk to you. Hey, Pavan, are you there? Pavan? Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Panos. Hi, everyone. Jazmine and I are excited to be here today and share a little bit about Surface Duo with you. You're in the Surface Labs on the Microsoft campus. This is where we have our teams of designers and engineers work together to make products like Duo. Today, we're going to talk about three things: the beautiful displays, the custom 360-degree hinge, and the product's internal dual system architecture. As Panos has mentioned, Surface Duo was purpose-built for productivity from the ground up. Now, one of the first things you'll notice with the product is its vibrant OLED displays. Duo has a custom pixel stack and a proprietary dual display calibration process. That way, the two screens look the same no matter what orientation the device is in. The assembly process has active pixel alignment, making sure the two screens are perfectly aligned across the hinge. We have touch and ink synchronization between the left and right sides, making sure you can drag and drop across apps. Now, these are just a few examples. Creating a seamless experience required us to be able to invent new design and manufacturing techniques that don't exist in the industry today. Now, what really makes the technology magical is what puts the two incredibly thin pixel sense screens together side by side. And for that, Jazmine's going to talk a little bit about the design and engineering work from the team on the hinges.
Thank you, Pavan. Now, the hinges on Surface Duo are incredible. They join the two sides together, both mechanically and electrically, to give you a full 360 degrees of rotation. And this is why Duo is so extraordinary. As you use it, it becomes this device that adapts to you. And the design draws on our history of innovation in our Surface hinges. We made it to be fluid and effortless to open, yet it still has the friction and stability you need to stop in any position. To do this, we dialed in the gears with watch-like precision and are routing ultra-thin wires between the two displays that carry data, power, and control signals. And all of this comes together in the smallest hinge we've ever created. But the precision design and engineering doesn't just stop there. Pavan?
Thank you, Jazmine. That's right. We talked a little bit about the unique dual displays and the custom 360-degree hinge. Now let's go a little bit deeper into the dual battery architecture that allowed us to create the world's thinnest folding device at 4.8 millimeters. Panos often talks about Surface was born to challenge conventional design and conventional thinking. And we can't challenge convention using off-the-shelf design and components. This is the thinnest surface we've ever built, and something this thin couldn't be built with existing phone technology, so we had to do more. Duo's design drove us to be able to split the batteries into an asymmetric configuration, requiring us to be able to charge and charge balance the two sides independently. The cells on the two halves also power the systems on the two halves and come together to act as one to be able to meet the demands of the processor, especially while running multiple apps. In fact, this dual battery architecture allowed us to create the most dynamic mobile device ever created.
That's right. With the ability to run two apps side by side, Surface Duo is the ultimate next wave of productivity. To make these experiences effortless, we designed the device so that all the technical complexity fades into the background and comes together to feel perfectly balanced when you hold it. Our team of human science experts and ergonomists researched how people held and interacted with this new form factor. And this is what enabled us to be incredibly precise about where we placed each and every component to lead us to a device that has the right center of gravity and a custom bumper. So for all the postures that you use, the device comes together and feels perfectly balanced in your hand. Surface Duo is the ultimate intersection of hardware and software. And we're so excited to see how you bring your own experiences to life on this device. Thank you for having us today, and we hope you enjoy Surface Duo.
3, 2.
It's inspiring, right? What you just saw. I mean, Jazmine, Pavan, awesome job. I will tell you this product is something that's near and dear to my heart, but also I think an incredible part of the Surface journey. And a lot of you have been on this journey with us for some time, and I'm grateful for that. I've always been grateful for it. I've learned from you. We've gone through quite a bit, but ultimately, from the beginning, you've seen us. You've seen us identify an original point of view. We then take that point of view and we've built it into a product and an experience, and it's really been different than anything I think anyone really ever did before. We stay committed to that point of view. It's something I'm very proud of. There's a team at Microsoft across all of Microsoft 365 that stays committed to that point of view. It's about refining a vision. It really is. You got to find that vision. You got to stick to it, and you got to stick to it over time. This product has been on a vision just like that. And if you want to redefine categories, like if you want to step in, and I talk about to the team all the time, if you want to change the world, you got to make bold bets. You got to make bets that no other company, think about it, no other company, and what other company would be able to make a bet like this? That combination of Android, Microsoft coming together, striking an emotion in people when they connect with technology in a totally different way. I mean, that's what Surface is. That's what we dreamed of. That's what we wanted to create. We're doing that right now with Duo. I believe it. Thank you for being with us on this journey. Honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait till you put your hands on it, and I'm going to get these to you as soon as we can. Can't wait to see you bring Duo to life. People are going to create amazing things on this product. They're going to feel differently when they use it, and it's going to be transformative to the future of the category in computing. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm grateful you were here. This product goes on sale starting tomorrow. you can pre-order, people can pre-order Surface, and this is kind of the news, so you're aware, but they start ordering it in the US tomorrow through Microsoft.com, AT&T, BestBuy.com, and it's available in people's hands on September 10th. The price is starting at $13.99. I'm pretty excited to see people get their hands on them. And I do want to say again, thank you for being patient. Thank you for being just thoughtful, and also on behalf of the team. I always feel like it's a blessing to be able to just have these moments and be able to tell the story of how much we've put into something that we believe in and share it out with you, and the fact that you receive it. We are all grateful. So on behalf of Microsoft and the Surface team and so many other teams across Microsoft and even Google that worked on this, I just wanted to say thank you.